So this tutorial is going to be on how to cut and sew a roll collar neatly. I already have my basic bodice. This is the front. You can see that the neckline of the front is just like a cano neckline. It's not too deep. And then for the back, I'm working with a deep V neckline. It's for a child, that's why it is small like this. So this is the back. So for the front, I used 3 inches by 2.5 inches for the neckline, and then for the back I used 3 inches by 6 inches. So this is the measurement that we have. I'm using this damask fabric as the main fabric, and then I'm lining it with a draw face bridal satin. So this is the main fabric and this is the lining. So this is it for the back as well. So if you don't want to line this, I want to teach you how to make this, and then you'll be able to turn the neckline of the bodice with the collar neatly. That's why I have my lining. So if you are not working with a lining, then you can just sew it directly to your bodice. So for this, for you to be able to turn it neatly, what you need to do is to go ahead and join your shoulder right side facing right side for the main fabric, and then you do the same thing for the lining. You sew right side facing right side for both lining and main fabric separately. So after doing this, you go ahead and cut the collar. I have sewn it, as you can see. So this is the lining sewn together, and this is the main fabric. So the next thing you need to do now is to measure out your neckline where the collar is going to be. So you can put it on fold and then just measure, then you'll be able to multiply into 2. So when you are measuring, you can clearly see that this is my zipper allowance. The collar is not going to get into my zipper allowance, so I'll start measuring from here. So you can see how I'm just placing my tape around the neckline. So here I have 10.75. That is almost 11 inches. You can go ahead and measure again so that you will be sure. Okay, so now that I have measured it, I'm going to bring my fabric for the collar. So for the collar, this is a Mikado fabric. That is what I'm working with for my collar. So the trick to making a perfect roll collar is to cut your fabric on bias. Remember, it is going to roll from the front to the back. So if you want it to roll very well and not choke or be packing, you have to cut this on bias. So you can see this is the normal grain of my fabric. You can see this is the straight. You can see how I am folding it like this. I'm folding almost in form of a triangle. So this is a bias fold. So can you see that? So this is how I'm folding it. This fold point is going to be the upper part, while the open point here is going to be the lower part. It's not going to be having any joining. So after folding like this, this is your fold. You can cut straight like this, but to make it easier, you can further fold into 2 so that you can cut on fold. So once you fold, before you fold this, make sure that what you have is enough to go around your neckline. Remember, our neckline excuse me, was 10.75, so you can add a little allowance to fold on the 2 sides. So I can just mark at 11 inches. So I'm checking to see that I have up to 11 inches, and then the XX for the shaping at the back. So what I have here is okay for me. I'm just going to go ahead and mark it out. So if you cut like this, you will notice that the fabric is going to be a little stretchy. It's going to stretch a little bit, so it will allow it to roll very well. That is why we are cutting on bias. Your fabric is going to have a little bit of stretch. Can you see? So now that we have it, you need to measure the length that you want for your collar. For me, I want it to be 3 inches wide, so I'm going to add half an inch to that for seam allowance. So I'm marking at 3.5 inches. So I mark that here, and then I'm going to mark it somewhere else so that I can have a straight line. So once you have your straight line, you grab your ruler and then you connect like this. Okay, so from this straight line now, you are going to mark the your round neck measurement. Remember, it's on fold, so we just need half of it. So for me, that is 11 inches, so I'm going to mark 11 inches here. So for the back is going to have like a style, like a V shape. So for that style, for on the upper part here, you are going to mark the same 11 inches, but we are going to add extra 3 inches, or between 2 to 3 inches, depending on how slanted you want the back to be, depending on the shape you want for your back. Can you see? So I'm going to go ahead now and connect this back. Please note that I just added to this part that is on fold, not the part that we are sewing to the neckline. The part you are sewing to the neckline has to be the exact same measurement you sew on your neckline. It cannot have excess, because you will not have anywhere to sew the excess to. Please note that I am only adding this to the folded part. So now I'm going to grab my ruler and then connect the V-shaped part like this. That's why I said before you fold like this, you need to make sure that what you have will be enough for you. So now that we have done that, I'm going to grab my scissors, and then you just need to cut out what you have chopped. So now once you get here, you go ahead and cut the slant design that you created. Okay, and that is it. You have successfully cut out your roll collar. This is what you are going to have, and you can see how it stretches. You will see that it is not straight, it's not a straight cut, it's not just stiff. So what I need to do now is to go ahead and sew it a little here and here with the same allowance that I added, so that I can flip and turn it out. It is sewn now. I'm going to turn it. Make sure that you notch the edge so that the sharp points will come out well. So I'll turn it on both sides, then take it to my ironing table and give it a good press. So I'm going to iron it and then bring it back to show us how to join it. So this is what the collar looks like now. You can see that it is now flat and relaxed. So I'm going to bring in the main bodies. You can notch the center front so that it can guide you on how to place your collar. So just give the center front a little notch, and then for the collar as well, you put it on fold and notch the center. So now you are going to bring in your main fabric like this, and then on the right side of your fabric you're going to place your collar like this. Make sure that the notches match, and then you can go ahead and pin. So you can sew this directly, but I like to pin, so I'm going to pin to the right and to the left. So you can sew this to the main fabric first, then sew to the lining, or you can pin all three together and then just sew them once. You can see that I'm trying to open my shoulder seam allowance, so you can see where the shape stops. It did not enter into the zipper allowance at all. So this is very important. Make sure that when you are cutting, you get your accurate measurement for the neckline. That way you will have it exactly where it is supposed to be, and you can see the shape that we give it. That's the work of the extra 3 inches, so for the extension, so that I can have this beautiful shape. If we did not extend this by 3 inches, it means if you just cut it straight, so you have to take out that 3 inches, and then this is the shape you are going to have. So if you like it like that, you can leave it as it is, but I just prefer it this way. So now I'm going to pin this other side as well, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew. So you can see how I am doing that. I open the seam of this one, and then I just pinned towards the zipper allowance. Can you see for this side as well? You will see that it is on that exact point where it is supposed to stop. That is where it stopped. So now that we are done pinning, you can bring in your lining and then pin the lining as well to it, so in such a way that your collar is going to be in between the lining and the main fabric, and then you'll be able to turn it out neatly. So you go ahead and sew all three together. I have sewn it. You can see this is the lining, this is the collar, and this is the main fabric, all three sewn together. I also closed the zipper allowance area and also the side seam. It's going to have a sleeve, that is why I did not bother turning the armhole. So for the front as well, I just decided to leave it so that you can see. What I did was just to place the lining and main fabric together and then close it up. So once you are done, you notch where you're supposed to notch, and then you're going to turn everything out. When you turn it out, you will see that your neckline is going to be neat both in and out. So you just take this to your sewing machine, to your ironing table, and then iron it properly. Can you see the collar? So this is what the collar looks like. I'm going to go ahead and iron it now so that we can see what it looks like, but this is what we're going to have. I've gone ahead to iron it. You can see this is what the collar looks like now. This is the back of the collar, and this is the front. So you'll see that the front is just going to roll seamlessly because of the way it is cut. So this is what the front of the dress looks like. So now all you need to do is to go ahead and join your skirt to it, fix your sleeve, and your dress will be ready. If you like to have a full tutorial on how the dress is made, how the full dress is made, let me know in the comment section, and I'm going to film a tutorial on it because I'm making multiple of the dress actually. But let me just show you what it's going to look like. So this is the color on another dress, and this is it with my full bodice. Can you see? Can you see the back? Can you see how beautiful it is looking? So this is what it's going to look like on the full dress. So you just need to go ahead and